But let me give you the opportunity to just quickly introduce yourself. You've been on our screens, but today our viewers get to meet you in person.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to be back in Kenya. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I actually grew up here. I grew up in Zimmerman, so it's always good to be back. But I'm originally from South Sudan, and we moved here in the 90s. And since then, I moved to the U.S., and that's where I currently live.
All right. And what's the big issue around women empowerment in Africa? As we know that Voice of America is looking to start our Voices program that will be airing on KTN News. Yeah, and it's such an exciting time to be an African woman. I mean, we are really living among legends, among pioneers who are forging a new normal. And I think that our Voices really gives a platform to women on the continent who want to hear from women like Ilhan Omar, who just was elected to Congress, or who want to hear from the president of Liberia even, I mean, it's just, our Voices really gives us a chance to talk about a lot of issues on the continent, and it allows women a platform to do so. All right. And of course, as much as we are excited, we still have pockets of the society that feel that women issues are supposed to be discussed in the kitchen. What's your philosophy on this? We have an entire show that says no, it's not on the kitchen. It's at the negotiation table. It's in business meetings. It's at the United Nations even. Women's issues are human rights issues. I don't believe that there's a such thing as women's issues, because the things that we think about as women also affect the men. And I believe that when we talk about women's empowerment or women's equality, these conversations demand the presence of men, and they should be had, in the workplace, in schools. So absolutely not. It is not just, in the kitchen. It's everywhere in the world. All right. And just talk to us about the format of this program and what should people expect, really? Yeah. Well, there's 4 women on the panel. I am one of them. I'm from South Sudan. We have a woman from South Africa, a woman from Nigeria, and a woman from Burundi. So we're really giving a Pan-African view of the continent. And all of us are very different. We have different interests, we have different experiences, and we hope to bring that to the table. And so we hope to give audiences a unique view of the continent. And we're also hoping to pull people into the conversation. I think you would agree that the best part about being a journalist is getting to talk to the people and finding out what their issues are and inviting them to the table and hearing from them and learning from them. And so that's what viewers can expect. All right. And as we come to the tail end of this interview, of course, Ian, looking at the bigger issues facing the continent right now, what stands out for you, especially issues facing women? Yeah. As a South Sudanese, I have to say the conflict in South Sudan is something that I think about very often. And in the first episode, I actually talk about the experience of the Sudan Civil War and how that impacted my family. And even to this day, we're still experiencing the consequences of war. And so I think that for me, it's really about conflict and how that impacts future generations. And I really am pushing for women to be at the peace negotiation table. They cannot be left out of it. And I just want to get your parting shot, really, when it comes to, as much as we are having such amazing programs coming on board, how interactive can we make this to be, and what are some of the opportunities that the audiences will have to engage with the 4 hosts on your show? Yeah, and we hope that people will interact with us. In fact, we designed the show to make it easy for people to interact with us. And we really meet the audience where they are. They're on Twitter. We're also on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. And we also have a WhatsApp number that they can contact us in. And of course, there's email. We'll be looking forward to receiving their emails. But we really hope to have a robust discussion. And we hope that people will take part in it. All right. Looking forward as well. Great, yeah, and let me also just say that we invite the men to our Voices, because we know that we will not make progress unless men are involved in the conversation. So I hope you'll watch, and I hope your male viewers at home will watch as well. Of course, we shall lobby as much as we can. Thank you very much. And let me give you the opportunity to just give us what we as journalists call our piece to camera of just saying why people should watch your show as you look straight into this camera. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that there's over 1 billion people on the African continent right now, and most
most of them are women, and yet still it is men who dominate the conversation. In business, in the economy, in film, in finance, it is men who set the agenda. And our voices really try to change that by bringing women to the table, but also inviting men to take part of the conversation as well. And please use the hashtag VOA Our Voices to take part of the conversation.
All right. Excellent.
Thank you very much for having me.
I'm sure when you retire, you'll join us.
Yes, anytime. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Wish you the very best.
Thank you.
And pass my regards to the rest of the team.
I will. Thank you very much.
Looking forward to actually tuning in once the program starts. Well,